The Morgans will even deliver the cattle to us before autumn. It would take us many more years to get our stock back to what it had been before the MacDonald vermin attacked us. And what will they take in trade? She wondered how many barrels of whiskey her father planned to part with. She hoped, once the trade was complete, she wouldn't have to hear how she'd let him down again. You. She choked on her breath. Me? The Morgan Laird needs a wife for his heir. We've arranged it so you will marry when they bring the cattle south at summer's end. But I am ruined. How desperate were these Morgans? About that. While it's true your maidenhead is no longer intact, there's no reason the bridegroom or his father need to know that. Their clan is too far away to have heard what happened, and by the time they arrive, it will have been more than 4 years. As if her virginity could grow back after 4 years. She bit her lip, trying to rein in her terror, but couldn't help herself. Father, He cut her off with a slice of his hand. You are perfectly able to perform the role of wife to the Morgan heir and, eventually, become mistress of Clan Morgan. You've been raised for such duty your entire life. We'll not let an unfortunate incident a few years past get in the way of that. An unfortunate incident? Evelyn seethed, but bit her tongue. It was much more than that. It had changed her life forever, yet her father continued to brush it aside. He wanted to pretend it hadn't happened, and now he was making her play the part of the virginal bride when she couldn't be further from it. You'll remain chaste until they come for you. She might have been offended by his assumptions. However, she was numb to the things her father said to her by now. Once she'd been his most prized possession, a daughter he was proud of. But when she ran away and was captured by 5 McCurdy deserters, she became soiled and no longer worthy of his affections. Of course, she said, consenting to his terms of remaining chaste. That was one thing that was easy to agree to. She had no interest in touching or being touched by a man for the rest of her life. Just the thought of it caused panic to return, as if it was happening all over again. She could almost feel the cut of the rope on her wrists and smell the foul scent of sour ale and rotting teeth. That is all. Her father dismissed her with a casual wave of his hand. This hurt her the most, the way he cast her aside as nothing. Gone was the father who shared stories of his youth and planned a great future for her. The man had loved Evelyn's mother to distraction and often spoke of Evelyn finding a man who would worship her as he had his wife. That dream had died at the hands of 5 monsters. Yes, father. She left his study, feeling weighed down by her impending fate. But it was only just early May, and the Morgans wouldn't arrive until September, at the earliest. She had time to come up with a way out of this. She'd spend every waking moment focused on that task. One thing was certain, though. She wouldn't be marrying anyone. Chapter 2. Liam MacKinlay stepped into his bedchamber and smiled widely, just as he had for the past year. It was a silly thing to be so happy to have his own room. It wasn't grand in any way, but it had a large, soft bed, long enough for his tall frame. A stand with a wash basin stood next to the door, and in the corner there was a trunk that still remained mostly empty, since he didn't have many things to fill it. He'd hung his few articles of clothing and his weapons on the pegs in the wall. It wasn't much, but it was his. Growing up an orphan...